Hello and welcome back to somebody on the rest and to another edition of NXT Out of 10. And yeah, big episode of NXT today. NXT, of course, following two eventful weeks of sprint breaking, kind of returns to its usual format today. And we've got multiple big matches on the card, kicking off with the return of Wesley as he was in action against Josh Briggs, and he looks unstoppable. While Briggs tested the back, understandably, he kept fighting through it, winning with a diving corkscrew senton. One of NXT's most underrated performers, Lee is back and delivering from the jump, selling the physical attack with Briggs on his back while ramping up the intensity throughout. He looked completely healthy and motivated and would be a perfect opponent for Robert Femi at Battleground. While this does push Briggs back in the line, he has made a great impression in NXT and will have his chances more. A feud with Ivar is brewing that could help him continue to advance. So I thought this worked for all people, and yeah, mainly it's just great to see Wesley looking back great after his injury. So yeah, good stuff. Carmen Petrovic then tried to make a statement at Shayna Baszler's expense. However, the Queen of Spades wore down her then caught and her opponent in the California clutch to force submission. It's always good to see Baszler leaning into a ruthless technical offense. She did what she could, going up against Petrovic while barely looking comfortable hitting her basic kicks. The right woman feud, and this feud is running out stolen. Vice got her win and Baszler got her win. So yeah, I think we'll just end it like that and it's been a success. But yeah, I think this is the way that suits Baszler, kind of this style of wrestling. So hopefully we kind of see more of the same from her. But for this alone, it gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Before it's time for the No Cure to Clash coup, with a special guest referee Stax taking on Tyson DuPont and Tyree Gooey. And the family facilitated announcement that Stax would be the guest ref. Stax clearly fast counted in favour of the newcomers. During an argument with Charlie Dempsey, Stax shoves into the arm of the Gooey for a surprise roll up for a fast 3. This was much more amusing angle than the match, and the action hardly got any going before referee shenanigans set up the outside victory. Miles Bond barely got involved in the action at all. If this was a good win for the newcomers to pick up a win, it's a dubious one, but hopefully they'll get more chance to see what they can do, and there's an interesting for you brewing. So yeah, with all of that considered, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Before it's time for Michin against Ariana Grace. Grace was animated throughout this match, but was completely outmatched by the power and striking ability of Michin. The HBIC won with a defeat. For a match with a weaker build, this was over too quick and hardly made the most of the target involved. In particular, Michin's timing was off, not hitting her strikes clean during her biggest stretch of offense. She needed to win if she had any hopes of getting the in the North American Championship picture, so this result was expected. It just did not need to be a squash, and it kind of a wasted squash at that as well. So yeah, unfortunately I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 for this segment, I reckon. Before Lash Legend revealed a picture of Noel Andar's foot under the rope in their match, calling Trick's title reign fraudulent. Trick was not amused, glad to accept a match with the Scottish Supernova. As the NXT champion asked Legend to reveal the relationship to the world, Dart laid out Trick with a back elbow. This amounted to a whole lot of nothing. Trick himself even called out what his time was wasted in this segment. While Dahl can be a solid challenger for Trick, he does not come off as a real threat to the NXT Champions reign, and I don't think we'll be able to get this segment all the way to Battleground, to be honest. But yeah, the best part of this segment so far is the obvious chemistry between Legend and Trick. If this leads to her working with Trick more, that might be the best option for all involved. But I think this alone, unfortunately, didn't really click, to be honest. Before we got our next match, Fallon Henry against Kalani Jordan. Henry ripped the padding off the turnbuckle and used the opening to send Jordan into an exposed steel. She followed out with a Shining Wizard to the win. This is a match that could have been hyped up and more before it happened, but it's still a great showcase for the new heel edge of Henry. Henry was unleashed in this match, hitting hard and fast throughout. The action got a bit choppy down the stretch. They tested their dynamic, but the chemistry between them still clear. Since there are two no longer partners, the best way to explore chemistry in the long term would be a feud between them and setting the foundation of the Women's Championship potentially. While Henley's recent booking was fat, it's good to see she got a much needed elevation and Jen needed the win badly, and I'm looking forward to seeing where she goes. Before it's time for Duke Hudson against Lexis King. An unfortunate distraction from Ridge trying to stop Lexis King getting in Thea Hale's face allowed King to hit Duke Hudson with a coronation to get the win. This is about part of the course for King's matches. He was technically proficient, but the action never picked up. It did not help, it only got 4 minutes in. Kick picked up another win as he finally started to build some momentum. He did a solid job of establishing himself in the NXT as the main man no one likes, which should keep him on TV. The main story in this moment continues to be Holland working with Chase Hsu. in this continuing struggles to find his way. Chase U is an intriguing option, but it seems like it will not work out. But yeah, I'm kind of intrigued to see where it goes. Definitely an interesting dynamic to add to the storyline. So I'll go at 6 out of 10. Before we got Roxanne Perez taking on Chelsea Green. Perez overcame the crafty tactics of the veteran Chelsea Green and took her down with Pop Rocks to retain the Women's Championship. The dynamic shouldn't have been awkward since both heels, but Green naturally slipped in the crowd favourites role as they battled Perez, mocked and belittled her. It was fun to see Green and New Ron competing in a match of this magnitude. She looked like she belonged in the main event scene, nearly stealing one from the Prodigy. The home stretch didn't quite seal the possible upset, but the victory was very much behind the possible result. From a one-off title defence, this was a solid showcase that made it clear why Perez will fit the main roster so well when the time comes. So yeah, on the whole, gets 7 out of 10 from me. I thought this was really good. Big win for Perez, putting over main roster star. An interesting dynamic, but I think in a way with Green kind of adopting the babyface role, it works. And overall, NXT gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I thought, yeah, a decent episode of NXT this week. Fun main event. Setting out some interesting angles. Some of it I'm not totally convinced will be kind of great in the lead up to Battleground, but I think for what we got, there's enough intrigue to keep us entertained, and I think some storylines can really click. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see the direction NXT does take ahead of Battleground. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.